Oh, hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for ScubaRadio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling the radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that ScubaRadio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for ScubaRadio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ and Bubble Boy are in the studio with me on this holiday weekend. Are you guys going to give the gift of scuba?
Feliz Navidad.
Okay.
Sure.
I think that means yes. And what, Romanian?
I think it's Spanish.
Oh, right. So, it is
Romanian. What the?
Well, I don't know. Feliz Navidad.
He's saying it's
I
fleas
thought you
on
were-
his dog.
Okay, that sounds more accurate. But yeah, coming up next week, we're going to have our ScubaRadio Christmas Crab Extravaganza show, and all hell's going to break loose.
All bells will break loose.
Yes, and unfortunately, I just found out right before the show that Bubble Boy is not going to be able to make it in the studio. So you brought a Christmas gift early.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
And this is for who exactly?
For you, Greg.
It's for me. Bubble Boy got a Christmas gift for me. And am I supposed to open it now?
Yeah, you can open it. It's for you
All
to
right.
serve.
Suck
CJ.
up to the
All
host.
right. Everybody can see this on YouTube,
I got you a little
Facebook
something.
Live. And
I got you a little something that you can
little
give to
something,
CJ.
something. Oh, it comes in bottle form. I like the sound of that. Or look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, Glenlivet 14. 14 means it's 14. It's one better than 13.
That's right.
Yeah. So
Two
that
better than 12.
So that's Glenlivet. It's a Scotch whiskey. This is the good stuff. So, wow, do we start the crab extravaganza a little bit early there, CJ?
Go.
I mean, since Bubble Boy is here this week, I mean, it's only fair we kind of tap into that, I guess, as a little precursor, a little warm-up, to the crab extravaganza. Maybe we started a little early. No?
You won't, but he will.
Okay. Well, he's here, so I want him to be able to partake in some of the scotch that he brought to help get us socially lubricated for the holidays. Good job, Bubble Boy. That is good stuff right there.
Anytime, sir.
If you're not diving, might as well drink.
That's right.
It's a liquid, so it kind of counts. But you don't want to mix the two. But if you're not diving, why not? Especially during the holidays, when the drunken sailor is not here with us, or drunken Santa, I should say, definitely this time of year. He is not allowed in the studio today. However,
There's a little bit of drunken Santa in all of us.
well, there could be indeed. But next week, that he is going to be in for the entire show. So is that really why you're not going to be here?
Yeah, that's
didn't
pretty
know
much.
that.
How did you know, Greg?
Okay, now the truth comes out. He figured if he came early with bearing gifts, he would be off the hook for next week's ScubaRadio Crab Extravaganza. Well played, Bubble Boy. All right, Barry the Bugger with us, connected via the web, and then we got Dr. Doug Ebersol as well. So, we are going to do a little Christmas Crab Extravaganza previews. We got a few little, highlights to share with you, or lowlights, depending on your perspective. But we got a lot of stuff to catch up on before we just, let the wheels go off the, rails there for next week's show. So, Barry, are you enjoying the holidays? First off, I'll throw it to you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you are drinking what?
What else would you like to know?
Are you drinking 14-year-old
Today
scotch
it's,
like us today, or no?
No, it's Tito's vodka with orange juice today.
Tito. So Barry is watching his waistline because
Not with that sugar, he's not.
It is?
what, Tito's and cranberry? That's
No,
like
orange juice.
No, orange juice.
just
I
orange
needed my
juice.
vitamin C and niacin.
Okay.
Orange juice and Tito's vodka.
All right. Well, no.
Why do you
that's
say it like
healthy.
Tito's?
Tito's.
I don't know. Isn't that how it's pronounced? I'll go get the bottle. You tell me. Tito's.
Tito's.
Oh, Tito's?
Tito's.
Okay.
Yeah, like
You're hitting the second
Tito's.
syllable really hard.
Is the orange juice from concentrate, Barry?
Oh, no. We get the fresh squeeze from, what is it? The place up in your area.
Does it have
There's
pulp?
a fresh squeeze place.
no, what's weird is how he
Yes.
squeezes it. He just sits there and squeezes
Stop,
it between his
Greg,
butt
damn it,
cheeks. And,
stop.
He always has to go there.
All I know is the
It's
vodka says
amazing
Austin,
amount of
Texas,
juice.
so I'll drink it.
Okay.
Wrong again.
All right. Well, there's that. Dr. Doug is already regretting the fact that he's joined us today, but we're glad he did regardless. Dr. Doug, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great. How about you, Greg?
Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to you. You got here just in the nick of time. So this show won't nearly be as bad as next week's.
Nick
but
of
you're
time
welcome.
would have been like 5:01
Well,
Eastern.
okay. But I'm just saying, if you wanted to avoid the chaos of next week's show, which it will be. I mean, it's world renowned in the annals of Scuba Radio history. Scuba Radio Christmas Crap
Annals?
Extravaganza.
Annals.
So, yeah. So anyway, you got that to look forward to
Swear
or
he does that on
avoid.
purpose.
I don't know
I
what
should
you're
have got
talking
him to
about.
speak and say, that Greg said. Anal.
There's an idea. That and some Greg Nog will
Wyoming.
be good to go. All right. So, Dr. Doug, I know you just got back from Norway, and or it's been a few weeks, I guess now. But did you actually get some diving in that trip, or was it just a sightseeing tour when you did that?
No. We actually we were actually in the water with the orcas.
Ah,
It was a snorkeling trip. So it was entertaining. We flew over to Oslo, Norway, and then you fly north from there to a place called Tromsø, which apparently is the largest city north of the Arctic Circle, about 50,000 people. We caught the boat there and went north. So at one point I asked the captain, exactly how far north are we? And he said we were about 1,900 miles from the North Pole.
wow.
So we were a pretty good ways north.
Did you
we got
run
blessed
into
with
the big
beautiful
guy while you're out there, just
Yeah, that's
wandering
right.
around? No. Put in a good
There
word
actually
for
were
us.
reindeer. We didn't see Santa,
Really?
but there actually were reindeer walking around. Yeah, we did see reindeer.
Wow, that's pretty
But,
sweet. Yeah, but it
it was nice, though.
it was kind of like a trip of the lifetime kind of thing, wasn't it? I mean, I've always wanted to do that trip. But
Yeah, well, you guys know my wife. So my wife, her grandparents were Norwegian. So there was a kind of a pull there. We originally had planned this trip for November of 2020. She had we'll say a milestone birthday that year, and we were going to go to Norway for her birthday kind of thing. But that obviously got delayed with COVID. So we went this year with friends, and it's a live aboard boat, holds about 16 people, 12 crew, and the idea is you cruise around and find the orcas that are feeding on herring, and getting zodiacs with your dry suits and snorkels and cameras, and you try and get in front of them, slide in the water. They'll kind of cruise by, get some photos. Then you got to climb back in the zodiacs and kind of get ahead of them again and drop back in. So it's 8 or 10 trips of climbing in and out of a zodiac in 40-degree water.
wow,
20. The air temperature was about 20, but luckily had good weather. We had clear skies every night. We had northern lights every single night.
wow,
And not much wind, so
Yeah.
no snow. It was great.
But,
Had a
but
great
you're
time.
taking the boat out in to the front of the killer whales and jumping in the water, in their path, and they just swim by you, or do they
Exactly.
like, hey, can I eat him?
Yeah, they swim by you.
No.
How many
They
in
swim
the
by.
pod?
They get a little curious. I had one come pretty close to kind of just check us out, and cruise
Yeah.
past, but they're just cruising by.
Right. But when it's checking you out, are you thinking it's thinking to itself like, can I eat that? No,
No,
I
they're
guess
looking
not.
for little fish.
Yeah, but
luckily these were looking for little fish and not things that look like seals and walruses, like we probably looked like, kind of bouncing around the surface.
well, they eat those too,
But
I think.
The dry
Yeah.
suits. The
Seals.
dry suits probably made him look like the wrapper is too tough to open.
Yeah, or like an Oreo cookie.
I'll never get that open. It's
or
just
something.
frustrating.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's pretty awesome stuff. I've been in the water with orcas too, and I can tell you it's a life-changing experience for sure. All right, so we'll talk more with Dr. Doug about his trip to Norway. Plus, we got some news about the new Avatar movie coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Bula, You'll hear that a lot when you visit Fiji. It's more than a greeting. It's the spirit of this friendly country. With 333 islands, white sand beaches, and year-round tropical warmth, it's hard not to feel happy at this exceptional dive destination known as the soft coral capital of the world. Fiji Airways has a modern fleet of aircraft to take you to Fiji in style and at great prices. Contact your travel agent now or go to FijiAirways.com and plan your Fijian dive adventure. That's FijiAirways.com.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Hey, baby, what's going down?
Later, nerd.
Are you lacking with the ladies?
Nope.
Enhance your scuba superpowers with a new Scuba Radio hat.
Wow, nice hat.
Just picked it up at ScubaRadio.com.
Buy 2 Scuba Radio hats and get free shipping.
Need a dive buddy, sexy?
Always. And I got a Scuba Radio hat for you, too.
New Scuba Radio hats are now available at ScubaRadio.com.
So cool.
Order yours today, or stay a loser.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
You're the only person I know who can take a wonderful season like Christmas and turn it into a problem.
Christmas, Christmas, time to cheer. Time divers, get some new gear. We don't know when we dove last. Hurry, Christmas, I need a mask. One day, buddy in my dive group to laugh at when he dives through Manta poop. We should not all have to wait, 'cause diving's just that great.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We apologize for those little Christmas songs, and I think that covers, from a legal standpoint, what the abuse that we put our listeners through at this time of year. So there you go. You've been warned. It's only going to get worse throughout today's show, and doubly worse next week as we celebrate Scuba Radio's Christmas Crapstravaganza, where we really pull out all the stops and go beyond annoying people. Some of the stuff we do will cause trauma for the rest of your life if you hear it, I think. But, we run a disclaimer, and we're covered from every legal angle, so we're allowed to do it. I don't know if allowed is the right word, but we do it regardless, because that's how we share our Christmas joy with the world.
We amuse ourselves.
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know. Amuse might be a harsh term, or being generous. It's more of like, look, if we got to tolerate this, so does everyone else, right?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, look.
Don't like it, don't listen.
Okay.
And also kiss my ass.
Well, there's some Christmas sediment for you.
Sediment?
Yes.
Like sand?
Like messes up the viz. Actually, I have a pretty good story about not only Avatar but the Wakanda movie. I saw this article, and that our mermaid Rachel was a part of. She was a stunt double in Black Panther 2, right? There's an article circulating the internet right now that they had a fish poop expert as part of that movie because a lot of it was shot underwater, and they wanted it to look realistic, and they call it snow, underwater snow. When you're floating through the water column, and you might
could have
see
skipped that part.
Yeah.
Well, they actually had somebody on staff who was in charge of making sure the fish poop looked authentic.
It's a little too realistic.
Yeah, but I would have never considered calling it that. But
I do always laugh underwater when I see that, though.
What, fish poop?
When it's actually happening.
Or snow. I never considered it being fish poop,
but
I guess it is, And
you'll see it with parrotfish a lot.
Yeah.
You'll see them chewing up the coral as they do. They'll munch on it.
And the sand comes out the other end.
Right. But it just looks like sand. But this other stuff, I don't know what they consider it, but it's like snow. And I think we've all seen it when we're diving, haven't we? I mean, Dr. Doug, have you heard of this before or ever considered this? Or is this? Yeah, you just consider it as particulate, but I never considered it being technically fish poop. Have you heard this, or is this news to you? I'm asking you because you're a doctor.
News to me, but James Cameron, going to details, I guess. I mean, details are important. This
wasn't James Cameron. This was the Wakanda movie. So
the Wakanda movie. Huh?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah. So I don't know if he bothered with it. And Avatar, we'll have to find out. I'm going to be on the lookout for it. I'm planning to go see the movie tomorrow, and we do have some Avatar news for you. Maybe even have a special guest that's going to join us who was part of that film a little later on in the show today. Barry, what do you think?
I wonder if Dr. Doug saw any of the killer whales release their debris.
Why would you ask that, Barry? Why would you ruin?
He was out there swimming with it.
A perfectly great experience.
No, we didn't.
Yeah. Well, I was.
We didn't see any of that.
I was diving with some folks. Where was it? Maldives. Jerry the Diver Guy brings this up all the time. Where I got caught and I was filming, and a manta swam overhead and released.
A punami.
Yeah. Oh, it's a punami. Yeah.
What's going on?
It's one of his catchphrases. Jerry the Diver Guy's catchphrases. And
or crutch.
Yeah, well, okay, but yeah, it did happen to me. But I've never considered just the milky particulate as being fish poo. And once again, they evidently when you go watch Wakanda now, Black Panther 2, which I have not seen that film yet either. I want to go see it. It might potentially ruin the film for me because I'm going to be so focused when they're doing the underwater scenes. Like, oh, there it is. That really does look realistic. Wow. Movie magic. And now or I apologize. All right. We do have another special guest joining us right now, Arlindo, with us from Diving Talks, the show, and Portugal dive show that wrapped up in October of earlier this year. And now everything's online from the show. Pretty much every seminar that you had, Arlindo, is that true? Or what?
Yeah.
Is this like your Christmas gift to the world?
No, it has been an objective from the beginning to share all the content with everybody. So if people would like to be there and they can't, they can watch the talks, for example, and see what that incredible panel of speakers brought us to Portugal in this October. So the idea is to share.
Well, I love what you're doing. I have seen a lot of the press releases and social media posts of this seminar or that seminar, and just putting it out there. Obviously not everybody can get to Portugal in October, including ourselves, but you can go back online and literally feel like you're there and witnessed everything there. Because he did bring together some pretty cool names in the dive industry and some interesting topics, whether it's industry insider stuff or just more general dive training topics and things like that. But it's Diving Talks. Is it divingtalks.com? Is that where they could start, or where, Arlindo?
Yeah, you can go. Yeah, you can go to divingtalks.com, or you can search for the Diving Talks channel on YouTube. So you have the content there. Also, of course, on the Diving Talks Facebook page and Instagram page. But
okay,
it's like you say, Greg. It's just the idea is really to share that incredible content with everybody that's want to watch.
Well, whether it was planned or not, I think it's his Christmas gift to the world, and his good work on top of it. For next year, they've announced the dates for October for the Diving Talks event in Portugal for 2023. Maybe we'll even try to get out there for that. And if it's any consolation or warning, my suggestion for a topic of discussion is fish poop. Do we try to make it more realistic in film or not?
You can come and talk about it.
Okay, I can talk about it. They just won't film that segment, I think, is what he's trying to say. All right, look, we got more coming up on the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer. And Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Peregrine is a simple, full-color, multi-gas dive computer. It's also the most economical Shearwater dive computer released to date. Check it out and the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater. Dive computers for demanding divers.
Do you have a message or a product that you'd like to share with the diving world? Well, look no further than Scuba Radio. Just like you, thousands of diving enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to ScubaRadio.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. So true during this time of year. If you take into account the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad and the fact that CJ and Bubble Boy are in the studio with me, we have a pretty twisted crew here attached to this show. And but we come together because we share the joy of diving. And when it's the time of year where you can give the gift of scuba, and sometimes, you know, it's not about the people, it's about the activity.
Oh, God, no.
So that's our excuse. And one of the reasons why, you know, we feel it necessary to share more than we probably should with the world at this time of year. In song and just in annoying, you know, comments and storylines. You know, it might be something about Casey the Tobacco Nut, who is he's an imposter today. I know who's behind that, under that Santa cap and beard.
No, I'm incognito. Nobody knows.
Okay, he's incognito, right? But he is an imposter. That is not the real Santa. That is Casey the Tobacco Nut dressed up as. I'm probably Scuba Radio's
Greg,
drunken
there may
Santa.
be children watching.
No, what are you talking about? I don't want to. I don't
ruin
wanna,
it for them.
I'm not ruining it or ruining. No way. No way am I doing that because
No,
you know.
see, I'm not impersonating Santa because I have black glasses on. Santa wears gold rimmed.
So you're impersonating
a minor detail.
Scuba Radio's drunken Santa, who is not here this week because he's been banned from the property.
No, because see, the beard is white and clean and no vomit.
Well, yeah, but it's still early in the show.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
After a shot or two,
reeks of tobacco.
He's going to be a dead ringer.
I don't think he pukes that much. I think he holds his liquor pretty well.
Yeah, but he relieves himself while he's just sitting there. And, you know.
Hey, that's a freedom that, you know, few people experience.
Okay. Well, most divers do.
To be that free?
No,
but not on the surface.
Well,
Not when you're topside.
That's the only thing Drunken Santa has in common with us divers is that we relieve ourselves underwater while we're diving, and he just does it whenever.
I mean, it's
Hey, Craig,
topside.
would you like to see a one-of-a-kind impersonation?
If it involves you relieving yourself, absolutely not.
Get the mermaid to climb on my lap.
Oh gosh, Kristen is here, and now
no,
she's
that's
regretting
gonna
it and shaking her head in disgust. Yeah, there'll be none of that. There'll be none of that,
He looks like the
Casey.
He looks like the abdominal snowman.
But I don't know. What were you going to do?
Yeah, he's got a smile for a face.
I'm almost afraid to ask where you were going with this. But did you have a point other than you would just like a
No,
mermaid
not
on
really.
your lap?
It's Scuba Radio. There's no point.
Okay, true.
Wow, setting the bar nice and low.
Good thing indeed.
Just the first shot over the bow, you might say.
Okay, there'll be enough of that. Vinny Two Tanks with us now, and Mermaid Kristen, definitely regretting her position as joining the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad. Kristen, how are you?
Could we move Mermaid Kristen square up closer to me?
No, she's.
I don't think it works like that.
Yeah, it doesn't. And if even if it was, I would have sent her a bottle of ointment to put in her stocking to protect her from nonsense like that. So who knows?
I mean, ask the doctor about that.
Well, that's true. That's why we got to have a doctor on
don't
staff.
Don't just assume.
Yeah,
Pepper spray.
Okay, so a lot of craziness going on, but once again, just a warning: it's going to get way crazier next week as we celebrate Scuba Radio's Christmas Crapstravaganza.
Maybe some antibiotics.
Maybe I would highly recommend some kind of
Steroids? I don't know.
a protective.
They're hard to find
thing.
right now.
Why is that?
You haven't been watching the news about the shelves? They're empty. There's no antibiotics.
Oh God, we're screwed.
Triple-demic.
Yeah, we're screwed.
This
We're
is
so
Scuba Radio. We
screwed.
don't worry
You
about
got to go
the
back to
news.
sulfur.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure I caught one of those
D5W and
triple-demic
Ringer's
things.
lactate.
Oh wow!
Oh,
So
never mind.
Kristen,
Keep your square down there then.
Kristen has a little. She's ailing during the holidays, evidently. So that's not good. But
You got
know.
her low, sexy voice on.
Is that what it is? Is that your?
Oh,
Gary would know from all those commercials.
Oh boy!
It's the sound. That's the voice I use when I want all the people to be
All the people of the
unattracted
world
to me.
to come
Like,
together
go away.
to go away. Or you could do that, I guess. You could just sing it to them. But anyway, all right. So, like I said, it's only going to get worse. Arlindo is with us from Portugal. I want to talk to him just a little bit more before I send him on his way, because isn't it late night right where you are, or do I got my time zones incorrect again? Arlindo, what is it?
It's 5 hours later than there.
Oh, okay. So it's not so bad. So you're welcome to hang as long as you like. But I was thinking it was later for him, but I guess not.
I think
so
they're on Zulu time, Greg.
yeah, there. Okay, we'll go with that. But Portugal is where Diving Talks. The dates for next year's Diving Talks event is October what? And 23?
October 6 to 8, Greg.
Okay, October 6 to 8. And despite what you've heard so far on the show, are we still invited to come if we could work it out? Because I'd like to get there myself.
I really would like to have you here next year. Yeah, so yeah, you are always invited, all of you.
How about
There's
that?
space for everybody.
Okay, all right. Yeah, Vinny Two Tanks even perked up on that. He was like, "Hey, have you been to Portugal before, Vinny?"
Yeah,
Yeah, I hear you.
Wow.
No, you turn the mic on.
Exactly. I'm watching the video, and Vinny starts talking, and he goes, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." And then
I'm ready for a bowl of caldo verde.
which is
Yeah,
what?
yeah.
What is that?
That's a very famous dish from Portugal, soup dish from Portugal.
Okay,
Very
so
popular.
all right, so you could eat some fish food. You want to eat some fish food?
Cultured son
in
of a
Portugal.
bitch.
How about that? Yeah, Vinny Two Tanks. He gets around. He's very worldly, and but Portugal has been a place on my list. Arlindo was telling us about diving that part of the world last time we had him on, and it sounded pretty interesting.
Is that where they have the Portuguese man of war?
Oh gosh, really?
Yeah.
No, we had those on South Beach.
Honest question. Don't give me that crap.
No, he said yes.
I know. I'm
Right.
talking to you.
Yeah.
I was just like, really? You're going to go there and just totally stereotype, and then Orlando
Hey,
goes,
I don't know.
Yeah, of course.
If I don't know, I
Yeah.
ask.
And they don't have Portuguese man of war. They have they have what? U.S. Jellyfish? No, what?
Jeez, Greg.
Let it die. Let it die.
Yeah, we'll let it lie. But they got a lot of variety in your part of the world when it comes to diving, right, to Orlando? There's a lot of different options there around Portugal that you could enjoy as a diver. True?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Portugal is the westerner country in continental Europe, but in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, you have the Azores and you have Madeira further to the south. And in this triangle, you get to dive everything from manta rays, whale sharks, also blue sharks. Closer to mainland Portugal, you have vast schools of fish, so you get to dive whatever you like to. You just don't have the Nemo from those.
You don't have the clownfish, but you got plenty of fish poop to swim through. And
Damn it, Greg.
what? And well, no, they got more than that. It sounds pretty appealing to me. It's on my list. Maybe we'll make it happen next year in October for Diving Talks. Check it out, divingtalks.com. More coming up.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio. Prepare to rig for dive!
Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Now, this won't hurt a bit.
It's a jolly, jolly song, the song I want to sing. Just melodies of ding dong ding with love for our great king. For lo 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 lo, for lo 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 lo. It's time to shine, it's Christmas time, as jolly as can be.
Sometimes at the height of our revelries, when our joy is at its zenith, when all is most bright with the world, the most unthinkable disasters descend upon us.
Oh, I can laugh and I can smile and show my happiness. I feel such love, I feel such joy when Christmas time is here. I want to show you all my loving small. It's a jolly, jolly song, the song I want to sing. Just melodies of ding dong ding with love for our great king. Oh, lo, 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 lo. It's
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master. I'll tell you what, you won't get that kind of world-class entertainment or whatever that was anywhere that I'm aware of.
Greg, I admire your guts.
What do you mean?
You will air literally anything.
Thank you.
There is no criteria.
Or I apologize.
There are no rejects.
There are no. It's all it all comes out in a form of annoying creativity.
You don't go, hey, this is good enough. I'm going to put it on. You're just like, yep.
Sometimes it's so bad it's good, and that kind of fell in that category.
That
right?
was not good.
Which means it's bad, and
we shouldn't air it.
No. If it's so bad that it annoys people.
Hey, think about how successful the show would be if you aired only good stuff.
What would the point of that be?
To have a good show.
No, he doesn't want to work hard.
What do you mean? There's a lot of work that goes into those things, Barry.
Oh, yeah.
Rigorous.
Okay.
I saw
non-existent screening process.
No, I saw Barry. That was a real toe tapper. You know, that last.
You don't understand, Barry, how many lawyers are involved when it comes to the legalese of getting those songs.
There's no legalese involved at all. That was from, actually it was a throw out to Dr. Doug, because that had like a Norway vibe to it.
Norwegian?
Yeah.
They had the little cadence.
Yeah.
It's not like a cadence of Norway. Yeah.
It kind of brought back memories of you swimming with the orcas, didn't it?
Actually, it was funny when we were there. You hear people speak with this interesting cadence. It brought back my wife's memories of her grandmother and stuff. The funny cadence that she and her father would speak, and she had no idea what that was all about until we were there. And
Yeah.
it was that kind of that funny little cadence.
Well, there you go. And she didn't like her grandma, and so I apologize. No, I'm kidding. She loved her. I'm sure she
Hilarious,
did.
Greg.
Yeah, Greg.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, that last song was for Dr. Doug, but also Vinny Two Tanks and his kitty cat that he has in his lap that you can see on YouTube, Facebook Live, and Twitch. He's petting his kitty.
Don't say it.
I said kitty. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there, and everybody can watch. The kitty cat actually probably is better than a rotten pumpkin or some kind of squash. I'm glad you've moved up to like living things. Is that just a holiday thing? Now he's got to turn his mic on again.
Yeah, he's got a jar.
Let him leave it off. It's
Looks like
funny.
he has a jar of peanut butter in his lap too.
We're gonna make a nice sign.
The
for
cat
him
turned it off.
Look, I'm gonna give Vinny a Christmas gift and say the cat sat on the button. Okay.
Okay.
When it's
There you
fall.
go.
All right.
There you go.
We'll go with that.
But Vinny, push the button.
No, it was the cat. It was the kitty cat that knocked him off the air. But that's fine. It happens. She knows who's boss. Her.
The frightening part is they're
Yeah.
both sitting in the litter box.
Yeah.
That's what you can't see.
There is that. But it clumps. So I think he's. I think they're good. Look. The movie Avatar is out now. It opened just a day or two ago. Jeez.
Christmas with the clumps.
And I have been getting some
Donald
reviews.
J.
That's a whole nother movie.
I'm trying to change the focus here, guys. Come on, work with me.
21.
Oh, you're the guy that's obsessed with fish poop.
Quiet. No, that was I'm just that was a story on Wakanda. That movie, but I don't think that'll be an issue on the Avatar movie. But I have talked to some of my dive industry friends that have said they've seen Avatar and they think it is spectacular, and it's like nothing that has ever been out before. So it's and James Cameron does have the record for this kind of stuff. When he puts out a movie this massive. I usually go to every one he puts out, and I'll tell you, he is one of the few directors that puts out a movie where you go to it and you go, wow, never saw that before. Now, whether you like the movie or not is one thing, but it is usually very eye-popping, and that is what I've heard about the Avatar. Now, they have said that they love the movie, period, the story and everything, but visually, they said it is it's unlike anything that has been put out on the big screen before.
Now, why are the aliens blue? Are they low on oxygen?
Possibly. But there's a lot of diving in this movie because there's I think the Na'vi, that's the character name. The blue people are called Na'vi.
I think they're from the land of hypoxia.
No, but there's a clan of Na'vi in this film that live underwater like Atlantis. Like they have they live underwater and have a city underwater and the whole thing. And a big part of the movie supposedly is filmed underwater. And all the actors had to go through this free diving training. Kate Winslet, by the way, she's like the head of the underwater group or one of the groups.
She froze to death.
She held her breath, did a breath hold over 7 minutes, beat Tom Cruise's Hollywood breath hold.
Oh,
record.
he's not going to be happy with that.
I'm sure he's not. But it was a big thing, and I heard some firsthand reports about this stuff. We've mentioned it on the air. It's been out there online about all this stuff. But I've been hearing from some of the people that worked on the film that the cast really did hunker down, and all of them did quite well. Like we're holding their breath for scenes in the film that were well over 3 to 5 minutes, and most people can do that. With a little training.
I don't know. I don't think I could.
Oh, you could. Absolutely.
I like breathing too much.
No, it's there's a lot to be.
7 minutes is a long time.
Well,
Yeah,
7 minutes. The thing that Kate Winslet did. What I don't know is
That's why Greg has brain damage.
Was it static or was she moving?
Well, I'm not sure if it was static or moving. They're supposedly, and maybe we'll find out because I hope to talk to my friend Liz here, who was part of the stunt team. Underwater stunt team for Avatar. And I don't know if she can say or not, but I had heard that they were breathing off of some like enriched air supply. So what they do, they'd pump up the oxygen content,
like nitrox.
Maybe, I don't know if it's quite. Maybe Dr. Doug knows better than I. But it was enriched oxygen, which would potentially allow you to hold your breath longer. Does that sound right, Dr. Doug? Is that even possible?
As you asphyxiate.
Well, yeah. I assume what you're getting at, they're trying to get their oxygen levels as high as possible so they can stay long without getting hypoxic.
Exactly. Yeah.
The issue still is going to be the carbon dioxide buildup. So it's going to make you really want to breathe.
Yeah.
So,
it might help a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah. What you don't want to do is hyperventilate and get the CO2 low, so that you don't get that trigger to breathe and your oxygen level gets low and people have shallow water blackout, that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think Kurt Crack from Performance Freediving International trained all the guys. He's, they've recently brought out by TDI International Training, TDI, SDI, ERDI, and Performance Freediving. So Kurt actually trained all the people for the movie.
Yeah, well, it's impressive any way you look at it, for sure. Whether there was some, mixed gas to make it a little bit more attainable, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out with our special guest here in hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving as we celebrate the release of Avatar with the rest of the world. That's coming up. Stay close.
They all love Scuba Radio. On the boat or down below, if you want to stay in the know. If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio. Let's go!
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio.
This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, what I just heard? Blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.
Hello there. Don't be alarmed. We're just preparing your listening device for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We do this, of course, by filling your radio with water. Don't worry, we're professionals. Thanks to me, you won't even get wet. You see, I've crammed every appendage of my body into the cracks and crevices of your radio, ensuring an airtight seal. By the way, don't touch your on-off knob. That's a very sensitive area. Anyway, I should remind you, we believe in the buddy system just like diving, so don't listen alone. Call your buddy and tell them that Scuba Radio is about to begin.
We're gonna start a new life under the sea.
So, am I gonna drown?
Of course not. Just stay calm and let the gentle currents relax your every muscle.
Under the sea, under the sea.
Did it just get warmer?
There'll be no accusations, just friendly crustaceans under the sea.
Where the hell are the sharks?
And now, here's your dive guide for Scuba Radio, Greg the Dive Master.
And welcome to hour 2 of the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master, CJ Bubble Boy in the studio with me. And then connected via the web, we have the Scuba Radio Scuba Squad, Barry the Bugger, Dr. Doug Ebersol, Casey the Tobacco Nut, and Vinny Two Tanks rounding out the crew online. If that weren't enough, and of course it isn't, with the exception of Dr. Doug, we got a pretty poor list of people on the show. What,
we're right here.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. I just speak the truth. It's the holidays.
Would it make you feel better if I put my Santa mask back on? Would that up us?
Well, if you covered up your face, why not?
That would be an improvement.
That would be yeah. But we're pulling out the big guns. We got Liz Parkinson on with us on Scuba Radio. She's all the way in London as we speak. I didn't know that was the plan. You hopped on a plane last night, Liz? and then from L.A., and now you're in London?
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, I had a last minute commitment I had to get over to the UK for, so bought my ticket Thursday night, jumped on a plane on Friday, and here I am in lovely cold Britain.
Well, there you go. See, Liz is like, she lives the Hollywood lifestyle. She's out there in the movies. She has played a big part on the stunt work of the new Avatar movie, and we've known her over the years, and she still talks to us. That's what's remarkable, and we really, really thank you for doing so, Liz, and tolerating our nonsense. But,
I love it.
It won't be much longer.
Yeah, well, okay. There's always, this could be the last time we hear from Liz. I don't know, but she's kind of a big deal. And so what can you tell us about what you did on the movie? Because I know there's NDAs, there's things you can't say, but is underwater stunt work was that the main focus of how you worked with James Cameron and the crew at Avatar, or what?
Yeah, absolutely, Greg. So I was hired back in 2018 to be a part of the underwater portion of the Avatar stunt department. The second unit director and stunt coordinator was Garrett Warren. And we worked for 2 years, myself and a couple of the other members a bit longer, on the underwater motion capture of the actors as well as some of the creatures, and lived basically in Pandora for 2 years, diving in that amazing water. As if you've seen the movie, you know how amazing it looks. So it was quite an honor and an incredible time that I won't forget anytime soon, that's for sure.
Well, I have no doubt about it. You know, Liz is quite the adventurer in her own right. You know, she does so much cool stuff. But, you know, I've known about this for a few years, and, you know, we couldn't talk about it on the air because of, you know, it's Hollywood hush-hush type stuff. And but what you just said, I mean, obviously, can we say like you were a stunt double for some of the characters? You even mentioned the animals. I mean, so did you didn't stunt double like some kind of underwater avatar creature, did you? Or did you?
Oh, well, it was a combination. One of the guys on our team said, you know, with a movie like this, of this caliber, Jim was very specific in portraying the underwater world as closely as possible, because he's such an avid ocean goer and such an advocate for the ocean and the ocean environment. He really wanted to make it as lifelike, and I think he totally crushed that. Yeah. So yeah, all the movement, everything that's alive underwater is all a human movement. So down to all the fish and the biomass and the creatures and well, I don't want to do out any spoilers, and I'm not going to say anything more, but yeah, everything that's alive underwater was one of 8 or 9 people that was either a body double for one of the actors, and we all played a huge part in it. You know, the most amazing thing about this was we worked on a set, and Jim would tell us how he thought he would like it, and we developed it over time. But it wasn't until I actually saw the movie earlier this week where I got to see where his imagination took us, because I had never seen, I didn't know the storyline up until I saw the film. So to see it play out in front of my face and to be like, wow, that guy has an incredible imagination, and what a phenomenal story he told. So it was really special, and I think everyone was super emotional. I mean, I was in some of the emotional scenes and I still cried, and I still knew it was going to happen. So yeah, he nailed it. Him and his business partner John Lando really brought the ocean to the world in a way that I don't think anyone else has ever done. So
well, you know, he does have quite the track record in that regard, and you know, it's like, you know, every movie he puts out, it's kind of like one of those situations where you go in and you see something you've never seen before. And that's what I've been hearing from everybody who's seen the movie already. I got my tickets for tomorrow, and you know, I'm going to go to the high end RPX 4D. God knows what that is. But I'm looking forward to seeing it, and I have no doubt that it's going to deliver in spades. And you know, the underwater parts of it are just icing on the cake, I think, for any scuba diver. They're really going to enjoy this. And like you said, he's an avid ocean man. He scuba dives. I've heard so many stories about him in the 25 years of doing scuba radio. And as I've told people on the air many times before, it was the movie The Abyss that James Cameron did back in his early days that inspired me to want to learn how to scuba dive. So he gets credit for Scuba Radio or blame. So It depends.
I think he's right up there. I think he's right up there in some ways when it comes to that kind of inspiration as Jacques Cousteau for a different generation of people. I mean, he's bringing in a group of actors who, up until this point, were just young kids, and it was really great to be able to work with them and to see how they've developed, especially over sort of the 4 years, kind of like Harry Potter. Some of them started on the set when they were like 12 and now they're like 18 and 21. It's like they grew up on Pandora, which is amazing. And then obviously working with people like Kate Winslet and Sigourney Weaver and Stephen Lang. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was pretty remarkable. And to do it underwater, which is sort of my happy place, was just amazing.
Now,
so,
I know, Liz, you are an avid free diver yourself, and there's been a lot of reports on how the staff got or how the crew learned how to free dive. Kate Winslet did over like a 7-minute breath hold. I mean, what can you do, by the way? Because you can do crazy numbers like that too, probably even much higher. Am I right, or what? When it comes to what you can.
It totally depends on what I'm doing. From a static standpoint, when you're just lying with your face in the water, anyone can perform longer than if you're doing a lot of motion and action underwater.
Right.
So, it's a testament to them. They had a year of training with Kurt Kroc from Performance Freediving and some other trainers to get them up to the level that they needed to be in order to do the takes that were required, which in itself is phenomenal. I mean, some of their takes were wild. I mean, so long, and they were acting and they were moving. And I mean, it's one thing to perform on land, but to be able to carry that presence underwater and have the emotion surrounding it when you're sort of in a wetsuit with goggles on is a completely different realm. And they were amazing at it. It was really, I mean, I'd sit there and I'd watch them as safety sometimes and just be blown away. So some of the takes were not super long, but some of them, definitely went into what the media is reporting. And I see a lot on social media where people are calling them out, being like, I don't believe this. But no, I was there. I can testify that those are the numbers that we're talking about. So
they had the best trainers in the world. Kirk, you, I guess you were helping them a little bit with that maybe too. So there you go.
Yeah, we had a great water team. To throw out a couple names, Mike Avery, Chris Dennison, some really awesome human beings that were part of the stunts as well as training, as well as safety. And it was an incredible group of people to be a part of.
I have no doubt. Liz Parkinson, thank you so much. Live from London. And, she was in Avatar as a stunt person. She's such a great lady. I can't wait to see that movie, and you should go see it, too. More coming up. Stay close.
This is the Worldwide Scuba Radio Network.
Power, simplicity, reliability. It's what you demand of your dive computer, and Shearwater delivers. Shearwater evolved out of one tech diver's need for a reliable, easy-to-use rebreather dive computer and quickly became the tech market leader. Now recreational divers have taken notice. The Shearwater Taric is the best, most intuitive, and reliable wristwatch-sized dive computer on the market. Check it out in the entire line at shearwater.com. Shearwater, dive computers for demanding divers.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Scuba action star Mike Scott is back in a new audiobook, Cayman Cowboys, Reefs Under Pressure. From author Eric Douglas comes the one that started it all. Listen as Mike deals with submarines, kidnapping, betrayal, and more.
He didn't even have fins or a mask to let him see in the water. He was going to be slow and blind. If it weren't for the float, he knew there would be no way he would ever make it to the surface.
Download Cayman Cowboys or Oil and Water, Return to Cayman, Turks and Chaos, and Lionfish at Amazon, booksbyeric.com, and audible.com.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
There's something swell about the spirit of Christmas. To see what it does to people, all kinds of people.
When you hear bells, when you hear bells a ringing and voices swell, with all the carols singing, that's how you tell. It's time to do the Christmas cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha. Christmas cha-cha-cha.
Well, I don't need anything more for Christmas than this right here.
This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. I am Greg the Dive Master, CJ, and Bubble Boy in the studio with me. And we got to thank Liz Parkinson for joining us all the way from London. That was really nice of her. I mean, I talked to her this week, and, you can imagine it's pretty busy for someone in Hollywood like her when the world premiere of their movie that they've been working on for the last 5 years finally comes out. And the fact that she took a few minutes to chat with, her diving friends is pretty sweet. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah,
that was
pretty
nice.
cool. Pretty
That was
cool.
pretty sweet of her, and God bless her. And and I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to that movie. I really am. I think it is going to be spectacular.
I meant to ask her, and I thought she might be coming back after the break. Do you know if they filmed that stuff in a pool, in a soundstage, or in the actual ocean?
That's
Yes.
what I wanted to ask.
Yeah, most of it. I mean, I don't know if they did anything in the ocean actually, but they had an underwater soundstage built.
Like
I think specifically for this. Yeah, I believe they did. But it's like a giant
you do
silo.
know it's a movie, right? It's a movie.
Who are you telling this to?
A lot of those animals, they weren't really diving with them.
Okay.
Yeah, we know.
Well, thanks for pointing that out.
Scrooge speaks again.
Yeah. It's funny. I mentioned
Casey a cookie.
Yeah, I mentioned that the Abyss inspired me to learn how to dive, and years later I realized that all those scenes that I had seen on the movie that I thought, ooh, gosh, I want to go there, were all fake. It was all done with smoke and mirrors and miniature, models and things like that. And most of it was not done underwater hardly at all. It was all, movie trickery. But this one, they actually did film it underwater, and then but it was mostly on a soundstage and that kind of thing. So it'll be cool. Now Jerry the Diver Guy is with us. He's driving to Ohio. I don't know why, but that's just what you do in the holidays.
Hell, I'm in Ohio.
Oh, you're already in Ohio. Okay. All right. Well, it's Christmas time.
Yes.
You go to Hawaii. Usually, if you're more intelligent, but if you're in the mountains of Virginia, you're like, hey, it's Christmas time. Let's go to Ohio. So,
If you want spaghetti and chili, that's where you got to go.
well, there's that, I guess. What it was? Yeah.
We are at the skyline capital of the world, but I prefer Goat Star.
Okay. He prefers
Oh yeah.
Goat Star.
That's what I heard.
That's what I heard.
Gold.
That's not really chili. I'm
Goat
sorry. You
Star.
need to drive south to Texas for chili.
No.
Okay, there's a whole Ohio chili thing. Yeah, we get it. All right, but yeah, you're just you're going to a Christmas party, so you're on the
I'm
road.
at a birthday party.
Oh, birthday party
For
okay.
Jesus.
I am in Ohio.
Well, yeah.
Getting all the details wrong.
Okay.
We are actually going back to one of my cousin's house to party now.
With goats. Okay.
The birthday party is over.
Mm-hmm.
So
So
it's time to drink.
okay. Well, I guess you could do that.
Oh, yeah.
Well, thanks for calling in.
All right. Enjoy your booze. No.
And
Yeah.
it's cold as hell up here and it's snowing.
Well, glad I'm not you.
Yeah,
as
that
well
sucks.
as everyone else.
That's a good
listening.
reason.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
Well, it's
sucks.
just
We live in Tampa, in Florida.
This
what
Yeah. It's cold.
It's cold. Is it snowing? Are you trying to get a little snow in there?
It's snowing.
And technically
and
that could
cold.
be considered fish poop if you were underwater. That snow, it could be fish poop. You could be on the upside down.
Dear
Especially if
God
it's
help
yellow.
you all.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying.
Greg, your family lives here, you know.
No, they disowned me years ago. They don't associate it with any particular geographic region, let alone me. But yeah, well, welcome to Ohio. And so you're doing your thing there, Jerry. I guess I'll let you sign off because it sounds like you're having navigation issues. Get out your compass.
No, we're not. We're not navigating the issues here.
Yeah, they don't know where they're
What the
going
heck?
because it keeps pointing at things.
navigating here.
We are going right at this stop sign.
All right, see you next week.
Okay. Well, yeah, go ahead. Oh, what? Oh, you have a comment.
Down
All right.
where it's wetter.
Bimini now.
What about
Keep the rubber side down.
That's you have a question about diving with the hammerheads. What?
Well, let's go.
We are. We're going to.
I'm ready
in
to
January.
go to the Bahamas. Let's go.
Well, what are you doing in Ohio then? What the
let's
hell,
go,
man? You can't
look,
go dive with the hammerheads in Ohio. There's no hammerheads up
Well,
there
that's
that I'm
true,
aware
too.
of. Yeah.
No, but there's bull sharks up here in the Ohio River. There's bull sharks.
Who says?
Well, go find one.
Yeah, go find one and
Too cold
videotape
now.
it. What the heck? Come on now. Are there bull sharks in the Ohio River? I don't believe that's true.
Yeah, they are bull sharks here in Ohio River.
Too cold.
Yeah, that doesn't make
They
any
migrate up here. They migrate.
They migrate.
and
Okay.
They pup.
They
and
pup.
They are here in the Ohio River.
Huh.
Do
Is
you
anyone else?
research, Greg?
We can Google it. Jerry,
That
we'll
shows
check
you
in.
how dumb bull sharks are.
Barry the Bugger can get on this.
Barry.
He'll start Googling it. I mean, it's possible, I
He's
guess,
already looking.
during the summer months, maybe they do swim that far up. I don't know.
They are.
I am on the job.
Yeah, we'll find out if Jerry's talking nonsense, like it's the
Fascinating.
booze talking, or actually.
Hell no.
Hell no. It'll be the first
Greg,
time
have
ever.
you ever. That is your problem, Greg. You have doubted my things.
I've
All right, you
doubted
ready?
his things. Yes, I'm listening, Barry. Go.
Bull sharks can't survive in fresh water and have been known to travel up the Mississippi River from the Gulf, even as far as St. Louis, especially during flooding. However, it's rare to find one in the Ohio River.
Rare. Very rare.
Rare.
Means once in a while one gets very confused, kind of like you, Jerry.
Yeah.
Hey, they're here.
They're navigationally challenged, like Jerry.
But
So who
they
knows?
are
Yeah.
here.
All right. Well,
Hey,
they
Jerry,
rarely,
maybe
but
one of
evidently.
those bull
It could be.
sharks has your flip flop.
Well, it's a possibility.
That's a whole nother problem. Yeah. All right. Well, Jerry, we'll let you sign off, and you can prepare yourself for the Scuba Radio Crap Extravaganza show next week, where you are actually going to sing a song.
Oh, dear God.
So everybody has been warned.
Singing?
You are singing.
Oh,
Well,
God.
if you want to call it that, I guess.
Pre-recorded, right?
Yeah. God knows we couldn't do it live.
Oh, God.
You want to give us a little
Yeah.
taste of what people can
Me
expect?
singing.
Do you want to give us a taste right
It's
now?
a
Go ahead.
Blue, blue, blue Christmas without you.
Oh, that's enough. That's enough.
In the boat home.
Wow, sounds just like them. Okay, well, anyway, that's next week, and you've been warned. We got more coming up still on this show. Stay close.
Scuba Radio. Scuba Radio.
Come as a guest, leave as a friend. It's a philosophy that comes from the top down at Explorer Ventures liveaboards. It doesn't matter if you're traveling solo, with a buddy, or group. Explorer Ventures does the liveaboard dive experience right. For proof, know Explorer Ventures has one of the best repeat customer stats in the dive industry. They're also the official liveaboard company of Scuba Radio. You've likely heard us talk about Explorer Ventures Scuba Radio scuba cruise trips many times, and we invite you to join us on the next one. However, whether we're on board with you or not, I'll bet an Explorer Ventures liveaboard trip will be one of the best dive experiences you've ever had. It just doesn't get any better. Saba St. Kitts, Turks and Caicos, the Galapagos, Maldives, Indonesia, humpback whales, and the Silver Banks, new destinations and itineraries are being added all the time. Call one of their talented travel consultants to find the Explorer Ventures liveaboard experience that's just right for you. 1-800-322-3577. That's 1-800-322-3577. Or visit explorerventures.com. That's explorerventures.com.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
I want a racing car set.
A racing car set! Listen, you don't want that. Those are assembled in Taiwan by kids like you.
Diving around at Christmas time, there is one thing divers know. Their surface interval is best while listening to Scuba Radio. Ho, 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 ho. This is the world's first radio show devoted to diving. We got a lot of crazy songs like that for next week. Hey, quit talking!
Yeah,
we're on the radio. What the hell's wrong with you people?
Movies.
Yeah, we're doing the show. What are you doing, Barry?
Cut them all loose.
Networking?
Cut them all loose right
Dear
now.
God.
Class.
See, everybody's in holiday mode, and they're not paying attention. They're probably having a little too much holiday cheer.
Amateurs.
We're just like
Tito's.
Bring it down a notch. You got to pace yourselves. Yeah, you got to pace yourself, boys.
Tito's.
Come on now.
Everybody talking
Come
once.
on now. So, look, next week, Scuba Radio Christmas Crab Extravaganza. It'll be much worse than that. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I know what is planned. Some of the little Christmas songs that we pull out once a year that we're only allowed to play once a year will happen during that show. One of them features Jared the Diver Guy singing.
Oh, God, help us.
Yeah, it's pretty intense.
But tune in anyway. You may get lucky and miss that part.
That's true. That's true.
But tune is right.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a very special show. So make sure you join it. And it's on Christmas Eve. So it's only appropriate that we share our annoying gifts with the world. And that's just what we do. And that's what we're going to do. And you've been warned. And we apologize in advance. However, there are a couple other little ditties or news nuggets that we need to share. We've been talking about the Avatar movie, and I'll have a full report after I see the movie tomorrow on the Christmas Crap Extravaganza show. I'll share that with you, with my 2 cents. I think I'm going to love it, just knowing what I know about it. But what I did find out, Liz Parkinson, who we were talking about, who was a stunt person on the movie a little earlier this hour, is in London. That's where they had the world premiere of the Avatar movie. And evidently, James Cameron didn't make the premiere because he evidently got COVID and had to skip the world premiere of his movie, Avatar, which is kind of unfortunate, but it happens. And, and they're on the circuit to promote the movie. You've seen a lot of stuff, on TV, Entertainment Tonight and all this kind of stuff. But there was a little backlash. Evidently, in Japan, they did a press junket in Japan for the movie Avatar. And they did it at an aquarium in front of a dolphin pool. Where like a SeaWorld thing where they have the dolphins perform, and they had the crew and the actors set up there to do a little press thing in Japan. And then, as they started, I guess, they had the dolphins perform and jump out of the water, and the trainers were, bouncing on them or riding on them or whatever, typical dolphin show kind of stuff, right? And, oh my God, PETA went nuts and voiced, their concern, like, how dare James Cameron, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, come on, are you kidding me? Hey, give me a break. I mean, geez. Because here's the thing. There was a lot of, this movie has been going in development for many, many years now. And I've heard that there is a huge underwater element that we've already discussed. And this potentially could be good for diving. You know, when more people see the movie, they see them, whether they're, Avatar people or not, all that underwater stuff is taken right from inspiration of the ocean, and hopefully will inspire maybe more people to want to, learn about what we have, not on Pandora, but right here on Earth. And, so
and
the
take
more
care of it.
Yeah, maybe, but just all the critters that these alien, this alien life underwater, you're going to see, things that we see as divers on Pandora that he has, borrowed inspiration from, maybe mixed it up a little bit. But I already know this for a fact. He did that in the first Avatar movie. Yeah.
Those little jellyfish things.
Right. That was on the first Avatar movie.
Christmas tree worms.
Yeah, that's right. They had Christmas tree worms on the first Avatar. So it just goes beyond that on the new one, supposedly. So
SpongeBob SquarePants.
No, you are totally incorrect. Way to derail the train of thought there,
Damn it.
Casey the Tobacco Nut. It's just what he does. But the thing of PETA coming down on James Cameron about doing this at a dolphin tank thing, I think it's just asinine. It's like, why just focus on that? Okay, I understand you don't like seeing dolphins in an aquarium. Blah, whatever. The thing is, and who told me this years ago was Jean-Michel Cousteau. And, whether you like this type of, whether it's killer whales, dolphins, as divers, when you get out there and you see them in their true environment, that's what everybody would prefer. I think no one would argue with you on that. However, the aquariums, those type of places do have a purpose, because not everybody can be a diver. Being a scuba diver is kind of like a superhero compared to most people that just spend their entire lives topside, right? And what's the next best way? Well, there's video. Okay, you can do that. But there's nothing like seeing the real thing, and whether that's in an aquarium and maybe, people in the city or wherever may not have the luxury of us as scuba divers. And we can only share so much by talking about it. When we can encourage people to become scuba divers and want to see these animals in their, wild environment, it's always preferable, I think.
Yeah, you could be one of those poor bastards in a car driving through Ohio right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
See, but still having that element of an aquarium or the dolphin thing. Even though it may not be ideal for the animal, there's still that one animal. And this is what Jean-Michel said to me. He goes, "Those one animals, yeah, would we prefer them to be free? Sure, we would. But they are an ambassador for their entire species, for thousands of people that don't have the luxury to scuba dive like us." So that's how you kind of you got to put it in perspective a little bit. And to bash.
I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, Casey. Now, let's see if you can stay on topic.
How do we know, and this is a completely legitimate question.
Yeah.
It's like feral animals. You bring them into your house, you treat them well, you keep them healthy. How do we know the animals in the aquarium aren't like, whew, I got it easy?
Well, you can definitely make an argument for that. There's been many.
These people hand me my food.
Well, there's been studies before that, some species of, marine mammals and things may live much easier or longer lives in captivity than they would in the wild.
Maybe they're lazy. Maybe they got caught on purpose.
Yeah.
On purpose.
Well, maybe. Yeah. I see what
Well,
you
then you have you have animals. Then you have animals like Winter the dolphin over here in Clearwater, who wouldn't have lived at all had it not been for man keeping her in an aquarium and building her a tail and doing different things.
Right. So. It's once again, it's about perspective. Is it ideal? No. Do people want to see more killer whales in captivity? No, I don't think. I think it's pretty obvious we wouldn't want that. And there's only so much you can do. But, on the other side of the coin, you got to also put it in perspective. Like, what good is this doing for people that don't have the luxury to dive with them or see them up close and personal? Like, Dr. Doug going to Norway or, that kind of thing. So, it's a little bit of a balance, but I don't think it makes sense to bash someone like James Cameron, who's just done a movie that could inspire so many people to want to protect the environment or actually, learn how to scuba dive.
Big picture.
Yeah, there you go. It is a big picture, that Avatar thing.
Prepare to rig for dive! Your surface interval is complete. You're now clear to dive with Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio.
The world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Scuba Radio.
Dive, dive, dive.
Look, I am Greg the Dive Master. CJ and Bubble Boy in the studio and then connected via the web. We lost Casey the Tobacco Nut.
Damn it.
He went to go have some lovin', I guess, with himself. And then there's also Barry.
Who's going to take us off track now? I'll do
Vinny,
my best.
Well, Vinny Two Tanks.
Oh, yeah, we got Vinny, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm not muted.
Yeah, I hear him now. I hear him. I can hear him. He exists.
You cannot hear him.
Yeah, but I do have one more story to share, and it's unfortunate that Jerry
Please do.
or Casey are not here to witness this one because it's kind of a big deal. Kind of hits close to home for them because they're avid aficionados of bourbon and whiskey and scotch. And actually, in this case, it's gin. But, there's a thing in the alcohol community or world where one of the ways they are distilling booze these days is by putting the booze in containers or barrels and then throwing them underwater and letting them mature underwater. And then the gentle rocking.
Especially wines, I think.
Especially what, Vinny?
Wines.
Wines. Yeah. But the gentle rocking of the tides in the ocean currents.
Yeah, it's supposed to be pretty good.
Supposedly, affect how the booze matures underwater, and it's become a thing. It's quite a thing. Like Oceans Reserve, Jefferson's Oceans Reserve does that. The fancy bourbon. Yeah, and you can pick this up at any liquor store. But it's become so popular that it's also become a target. So this company that was maturing their gin underwater, and it was I guess it was a lake. It was in a lake, and they put down this rare gin that they had brewed, and they were putting it down to mature for 100 days. Well, within that 100 days, somebody went down there and took it. A diver, I'm guessing. But when they went back after 100 days, their booze was gone.
It was James Cameron.
You think? It could be. It might have been the Navy or what?
Well, that was my buddy.
That was your buddy? You think?
I wish it was my buddy.
Oh, you wish? That's right. So if any kind of
buddies,
well, that's right. It probably it could be somebody in our community that had some kind of underwater skills to be able to go.
God, could you imagine doing that? I think that's pretty cool.
I don't know what
for the person who lost their.
I do wonder what the laws are in that regard, though. Like if you were diving,
still theft.
Well, is it?
Yeah, you're taking something that's not yours.
If you came across some barrels underwater that somebody had put down there. I mean, I don't know what the laws are.
They got to be moored somehow.
I'm sure they labeled them with a sign, didn't they? They must have.
Well, I don't know if there was any sign.
That's part of the reason why it was found is maybe they had a big stick. Don't touch these.
Yeah. Well, they did say in this particular case that they were, the sphere that the gin was in was moored down and attached to some concrete blocks or something. But when they went down, it was nowhere to be found. They're like, oh boy,
I'm gonna go down there with some bolt cutters.
Yeah. I mean, and once again, I don't know what the rules are in that regard. I mean, let's say
it had to be an inside job.
Yeah, I don't know.
Why do I say that? Yeah, I mean, it's underwater. It's unless someone saw them put it down in there.
They must have known that they weren't going to look at them for 100 days and figured they could snag it. And they did it.
That's what I'm guessing. I mean, like lobster traps in Florida waters are protected. You can't molest that stuff. Yeah. But if you saw something else like that someone had just, maybe they were doing some kind of homebrew project. And
it was probably an inside job.
Why? Why would you? I just wonder what the legality of that. If you saw that, what would keep you from like, hey, that's probably booze. I'm going to grab that. That shouldn't be down here anyway. That's
I just happen
garbage.
to have bolt cutters on me.
Yes. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't encourage such activity.
Just think of how much that would last. How long that would last you.
Yeah. Well, and then plus, what are you going to do when you get this stuff topside?
Probably
Just share it with your
the
friends?
date.
Yeah.
I guess you would. You
Is
just
that
say.
what that barrel is in the back of the studio?
We haven't seen Walt in a while.
True. That is true. Camel DiMartini.
Oh, Drunken Santa.
Or Gomez or
rum.
Julio. Yeah.
And that's rum.
Well, in this case, it was gin, but, they're doing a lot of it with bourbon. I've heard it done with rum. And, it's kind of a swanky thing, too. It's one of the latest crazes in booze
It
production.
costs more money. They charge for it. It costs more money.
Well,
It's
it's the latest fad, and so they charge a premium for that kind of stuff.
I've heard of it.
Yeah. So, is it worth it? I don't know. But if you saw some sitting there on the ocean bottom, would you want to go, hey, I'll take a little nip, take me back some?
We need an Explorer Adventure cruise to do that.
No, I don't.
It's a lake.
We're going to go on a booze
Explorer
cruise.
Adventure looking for
Explorer Adventure canoe.
Looking for stacks of booze in the. That would be a great dive trip.
Just have Jerry the diver guy drive his Subaru into the lake.
Imagine diving for.
Diving for booze.
Going on a trip diving for booze. That would be a pretty fun trip.
Yeah. Well, once again, I don't know what the rules are. I mean,
There
if
we go.
it was the international
trip.
waters, I mean, I just don't know how you protect yourself from somebody taking your booze if you put it under there. I mean, because the ocean isn't owned by anyone, so
I just want to take the
just
cruise.
don't know. Well, okay, Vinny's he's focused on wanting to do another liveaboard.
I got just out of an Explorer Adventure trip I'd like to do.
Yeah. I mean, we could just take, brew our own underwater stuff. Any of you guys know how to do that?
No, it's a pain in the ass. So let's go to the store and buy it.
Oh.
Hey, they could get one of those trained dolphins, Greg. The killer dolphins that the Navy trains.
Right.
Have them guard your booze underwater.
Uh-huh.
They kill any divers.
There we go.
Okay. So, all right. We'd have to get some killer dolphins to protect our
laser
stash.
beams.
And I don't know. That sounds like something Barry would do, though. You haven't never brewed your own beer or anything like that, or
in his bathtub?
Nah.
Yeah. So Jerry's the only one who has the still experience. So he could work some magical spring water up there in the mountains of Virginia, and maybe we'll just take it underwater and let it sit for a year or two. Would it do anything?
Jerry couldn't even find brass rivets for his still. He gave up on that.
Did he really?
As far as I know, yeah.
Yeah, you're lying. Yeah, Barry can make fun of Jerry because he's not here right now. Yeah. But this does sound like a job for next year. Maybe we'll have to do this and do our own little experiment. And because we do have someone who's familiar with the processing of alcohol.
Yeah, but have you tasted it? It's terrible.
How do they regulate the temperature underwater?
No. You distill it as you typically do. You let it age underwater in a barrel.
You know where we need to put that, don't you?
Up your what?
Lake Titicaca.
Oh, there you go.
He read my mind again.
Yes. So you drop the barrels down in Lake Titicaca, let them age for a year or two.
We should do rum though, not gin.
Yeah,
I'm not a big gin guy. Do you guys like gin?
No. Gin, nah.
Not a big gin
boring.
fan either.
But I mean, I don't know. But I think we could be onto something. We just got to figure out how to protect our investment, because that'll cost like $10. Have Jerry brew us up a stash of that stuff.
No, Jerry should not be
be Yeah. What? He's the only one we know.
We can read up on how to do
He'll
this.
Be tasting. He'll be tasting it all the time.
All right,
There'll be nothing left.
He makes a god awful moonshine.
Yeah.
We start with
it's like chicken manure.
We'll start with 20 gallons and end up with a quart after he's done producing that nonsense. All right. Well, it was just a thought, and a bad one, as they most.
No, I like where you're going. We just need to tweak it a little.
Okay. Well, we'll work on that. All right. So remember, next week, Scuba Radio Christmas Crab Extravaganza. Make sure you join us, and we apologize in advance. On that note, we'll wrap it up for this week. Till next time, remember, it's always better, where, gang?
Down where it's wetter.
Down where it's wetter.
Safe diving, everyone.
If you be pressurized there, you'll want to be there on Scuba Radio.
Scuba Radio is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Scuba Radio. This seems the logical place for fish to congregate.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past editions of Scuba Radio worldwide over the internet at ScubaRadio.com.
So we're in international waters? Indeed so.
Tell a friend and buddy up with your radio every week for Scuba Radio, the world's first radio show devoted to diving.
Well, it's all very nice here, but we should be going. I miss me wife and me oxygen.
Yes, we all miss our loved ones and gases. Let's go.
The opinions you just heard on Scuba Radio are those of the hosts, callers, and guests.
Okay, so now what I just heard, blah, 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 blah.
They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
Come on, quit yanking me.
Scuba diving does involve risk and should never be conducted without proper instruction and training.
Oh, what's the worst thing that could happen?
I could die.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at ScubaRadio.com.